Connecticut is the southernmost state in the New England region of the northeastern United States. It borders Rhode Island to the east, Massachusetts to the north, New York to the west, and Long Island Sound to the south. Its capital is Hartford, and its most populous city is Bridgeport. Connecticut lies between the major hubs of New York City and Boston, along the Northeast Corridor. The New York metropolitan area, which includes 6 of Connecticut's 7 largest cities, extends well into the southwestern part of the state, while the northeastern corner reaches Greater Boston. Connecticut is the 3rd smallest state by area after Rhode Island and Delaware, and the 29th most populous with slightly more than 3.6 million residents, as of 2020, ranking it 4th among the most densely populated U.S. states. The state is named after the Connecticut River, the longest in New England, which roughly bisects the state and drains into the Long Island Sound between the towns of Old Saybrook and Old Lyme. Name of the river is in turn derived from anglicized spellings of Quinatucket, a Mohegan Pequot word for long tidal river. Before the arrival of the first European settlers, the region was inhabited by various Algonquian tribes. In 1633, the Dutch West India Company established a small, short-lived settlement called House of Hope in Hartford. Half of Connecticut was initially claimed by the Dutch colony New Netherland, which included much of the land between the Connecticut and Delaware rivers. Although the first major settlements were established by the English around the same time, Thomas Hooker led a band of followers from the Massachusetts Bay Colony to form the Connecticut Colony, while other settlers from Massachusetts founded the Saybrook Colony and the New Haven Colony. Both merged into the former by 1664. Connecticut's official nickname, the Constitution State, refers to the fundamental orders adopted by the Connecticut Colony in 1639, which is considered by some to be the first written constitution in Western history. As one of the 13 colonies that rejected British rule during the American Revolution, Connecticut was influential in the development of the federal government of the United States. In 1787, Roger Sherman and Oliver Ellsworth, state delegates to the Constitutional Convention, proposed a compromise between the Virginia and New Jersey plans. Its bicameral structure for Congress, with a respectively proportional and equal representation of the states in the House of Representatives and Senate, was adopted and remains to this day. In January 1788, Connecticut became the 5th state to ratify the Constitution. Connecticut is a developed and affluent state, performing well on the Human Development Index and on different metrics of income except for equality. It is home to a number of prestigious educational institutions, including Yale University in New Haven, as well as other liberal arts colleges and private boarding schools in and around the Knowledge Corridor. Due to its geography, Connecticut has maintained a strong maritime tradition. The United States Coast Guard Academy is located in New London by the Thames River. The state is also associated with the aerospace industry through major companies, Pratt & Whitney and Sikorsky, aircraft headquartered in East Hartford and Stratford, respectively. Historically a manufacturing center for arms, hardware, and timepieces, Connecticut, as with the rest of the region, had transitioned into an economy based on the financial, insurance, and real estate sectors. Many multinational firms providing such services can be found concentrated in the state capital of Hartford and along the Gold Coast in Fairfield County. The American robin Turdus migratorius is a large, gray-brown songbird that is common across North America. They are the largest of North American thrushes. American robins are named after the European robin because of their reddish-orange breast. However, the two species are not closely related. American robins are especially vocal during the spring and summer. Kalmia latifolia, also known as mountain laurel, is a flowering plant native to the eastern United States. It is a broadleaf evergreen shrub or small tree that can be found in a variety of habitats, including open rocky or sandy woods, cool meadows, and mountain slopes. Mountain laurel is known for its excellent spring flowers and year-round foliage. In late spring, the shrub is covered in cup-shaped, white to pink flowers with darker pink to purple markings. The white oak Quercus alba is a long-lived tree that is native to eastern and central North America. It is the national tree of the United States and is a keystone species, meaning it plays an important role in the ecosystem. The white oak is resistant to pests and diseases, and can live for hundreds of years. It has a closed cellular structure, making it water and rot resistant. There are 8 counties in the U.S. state of Connecticut. 4 of the counties of Fairfield, Hartford, New Haven and New London were created in 1666. Shortly after the Connecticut colony and the New Haven colony combined, Windham and Litchfield counties were created later in the colonial era, while Middlesex and Tolland counties were created after American independence both in 1785. 6 of the counties are named for locations in England, where many early Connecticut settlers originated. Fairfield County was named after the salt marshes that bordered the coast, while New Haven County was named for the New Haven colony. Although Connecticut is divided into counties, there are no county-level governments, and local government in Connecticut exists solely at the municipal level. Almost all functions of county government were abolished in Connecticut in 1960, except for elected county sheriffs and their departments under them. Those offices and their departments were abolished by an act of the state legislature, effective in December 2000. The functions the county sheriffs departments played were assumed by the newly organized State Marshal Commission and the Connecticut Department of Corrections. These counties are used in legacy geography, such as identifying land, national statistics, and personnel rostering and court jurisdictions in the state's judicial and state marshal system. However, the 3 most populous Fairfield, Hartford and New Haven are as to many types of jurisdiction subdivided. In 2019, the state recommended to the United States Census Bureau that the 9 councils of governments replace its counties for statistical purposes. According to the Census Bureau, Connecticut's COGS and planning regions have the authority to carry out administrative functions that are typically found among counties in other states. This proposal was approved by the Census Bureau in 2022 and will be fully implemented by 2024. Top 10 largest cities in Connecticut. Number 10, Greenwich, Connecticut. Greenwich is a town in southwestern Fairfield County, Connecticut, United States. At the 2020 census, it had a population of 63,518. Greenwich is a principal community of the Bridgeport, Stamford, Norwalk, Danbury Metropolitan Statistical Area, which comprises all of Fairfield County and is part of the Western Connecticut Planning Region. The town is the southwesternmost municipality in both the state of Connecticut and the 6th state region of New England. The town is named after Greenwich, or Royal Borough of London in the United Kingdom. It is the largest town on Connecticut's affluent Gold Coast. Greenwich is home to many hedge funds and financial services firms, due to its residential setting and proximity to New York City. Number 9, West Hartford, Connecticut. West Hartford is a town in Hartford County, Connecticut, United States. 5 miles 8.0 kilometers west of downtown Hartford. The town is part of the Capital Planning Region. The population was 64,083 at the 2020 census. The town's popular downtown area is colloquially known as West Hartford Center, or simply the Center, and is centered on Farmington Avenue and South and North Main Street. West Hartford Center has been the community's main commercial hub since the late 17th century. Incorporated as a town in 1854, West Hartford was previously a parish of Hartford, founded in 1672, among the southernmost of the communities in the Hartford-Springfield Knowledge Corridor metropolitan region. West Hartford is home to University of Hartford and the University of St. Joseph. West Hartford is home to regular events which draw large crowds from neighboring towns, including the Elizabeth Park Concert Series and the annual Celebrate West Hartford event, which includes fairground rides, food vendors, musical performances, and stalls by local businesses. Number 8, New Britain, Connecticut. New Britain is a city in Hartford County, Connecticut, United States. It is located approximately 9 miles 14 kilometers southwest of Hartford. The city is part of the Capital Planning Region. According to 2020 census, the population of the city is 74,135. among the southernmost of the communities encompassed within the Hartford-Springfield Knowledge Corridor metropolitan region. New Britain is home to Central Connecticut State University and Charter Oak State College. The city was noted for its industry during the 19th and early 20th centuries, and notable sites listed on the National Register of Historic Places include Walnut Hill Park, developed by the landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, and downtown New Britain. The city's official nickname is the Hardware City, because of its history as a manufacturing center and as the headquarters of Stanley Black & Decker. Because of its large Polish population, the city is often playfully referred to as New Britsky. Number 7. Danbury, Connecticut. Danbury is a city in Fairfield County, Connecticut, United States, located approximately 50 miles 80 kilometers northeast of New York City. Danbury's population as of 2020 was 86,518. It is the third largest city in western Connecticut and the seventh largest city in Connecticut. The city is a commercial hub of western Connecticut, an outer ring commuter suburb of New York City, and an historic summer colony within the New York metropolitan area and New England. Danbury is nicknamed the Hat City because it was once the center of the American hat industry during the 19th and early 20th centuries. The mineral danburite is named for Danbury, while the city itself is named for Danbury in Essex, England. Danbury is home to Danbury Hospital, Western Connecticut State University, Danbury Fair Mall, and Danbury Municipal Airport. Number 6. Norwalk, Connecticut. Norwalk is a city located in western Connecticut, United States, in southern Fairfield County. On the northern shore of the Long Island Sound, Norwalk lies within both the New York metropolitan area and the Bridgeport metropolitan area. Norwalk was originally settled in 1649 and is the sixth most populous city in Connecticut, according to the 2020 United States Census. It has a population of 91,184. Number 5. Waterbury, Connecticut. Waterbury is a city in the U.S. state of Connecticut. Waterbury had a population of 114,403 as of the 2020 census. The city is 33 miles 53 kilometers southwest of Hartford and 77 miles 124 kilometers northeast of New York City. Waterbury is the largest city in the Naugatuck Valley Planning Region and second largest city in New Haven County. Throughout the first half of the 20th century, Waterbury had large industrial interests and was the leading center in the United States for the manufacture of brassware, including castings and finishings, as reflected in the nickname the Brass City, and the city's motto Quid ira perennius, what is more lasting than brass? It was also noted for the manufacture of watches and clocks Timex. The city is alongside Interstate 84, Yankee Expressway and Route 8, and has a Metro-North railroad station with connections to Grand Central Terminal. Waterbury is also home to Post University and the regional campuses of the University of Connecticut, University of Bridgeport, Western Connecticut State University, as well as Naugatuck Valley Community College. Number 4. Hartford, Connecticut. Hartford is the capital city of the U.S. state of Connecticut. The city, located in Hartford County, had a population of 121,054 as of the 2020 census. Hartford is the most populous city in the Capital Planning Region and the core city of the Greater Hartford metropolitan area. Founded in 1635, Hartford is among the oldest cities in the United States. It is home to the country's oldest public art museum, Wadsworth Audename, the oldest publicly funded park, Bushnell Park, the oldest continuously published newspaper, the Hartford Courant, the second oldest secondary school, Hartford Public High School, and the oldest school for deaf children, American School for the Deaf. Founded by Thomas Hopkins Gallaudet in 1817, it is the location of the Mark Twain House, in which the author Mark Twain wrote his most famous works and raised his family. He wrote in 1868, "Of all the beautiful towns it has been my fortune to see, this is the chief." Hartford has been the sole capital of Connecticut since 1875. Before then, New Haven and Hartford alternated as dual capitals, as part of the agreement by which the colony of New Haven was absorbed into the colony of Connecticut in 1664. Hartford was the richest city in the United States for several decades following the American Civil War. Since 2015, It has been one of the poorest cities in the country, with 3 out of 10 families living below the poverty threshold. In sharp contrast, the Greater Hartford Metropolitan Statistical Area was ranked 32nd of 318 metropolitan areas in total economic production and 8th out of 280 metropolitan statistical areas in per capita income in 2015. Nicknamed the insurance capital of the world and America's filing cabinet, the city holds high sufficiency as a global city. As home to the headquarters of many insurance companies, the region's major industry. Other prominent industries include the services, education, and healthcare industries. Hartford coordinates certain Hartford-Springfield regional development matters through the Knowledge Corridor Economic Partnership. Number 3. New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven is a city in New Haven County, Connecticut, United States. It is located on New Haven Harbor on the northern shore of Long Island Sound and is part of the New York City metropolitan area, with a population of 135,081, as determined by the 2020 U.S. Census. New Haven is the third largest city in Connecticut after Bridgeport and Stamford, the largest city in the south-central Connecticut planning region, and the principal municipality of Greater New Haven, which had a total population of 864,835. In 2020, prior to 1960, it was the county seat of New Haven County until the county governments were abolished that year. New Haven was one of the first planned cities in the USA, year after its founding by English Puritans in 1638. -1 streets were laid out in a 4x4 grid, creating the 9-square plan. The central common block is the New Haven Green, a 16-acre 6 hectares square at the center of downtown New Haven. The green is now a National Historic Landmark, and the 9-square plan is recognized by the American Planning Association as a National Planning Landmark. New Haven is the home of Yale University, New Haven's biggest taxpayer and employer, and an integral part of the city's economy. Healthcare, professional and financial services, and retail trade also contribute to the city's economic activity. The city served as co-capital of Connecticut from 1701 until 1873, when sole governance was transferred to the more centrally located city of Hartford. New Haven has since billed itself as the cultural capital of Connecticut for its supply of established theaters, museums, and music venues. New Haven had the first public tree planting program in the U.S., producing a canopy of mature trees, including some large elms, that gave the city the nickname the Elm City. Number 2. Stamford, Connecticut. Stamford is a city in Fairfield County, Connecticut, United States, 34 miles 55 kilometers outside of New York City. It is the 6th most populous city in New England. Stamford is also the largest city in the western Connecticut planning region, and Connecticut's 2nd most populous city, behind Bridgeport, with a population of 135,470. Stamford passed Hartford and New Haven in population as of the 2020 census. It is in the Bridgeport-Stamford-Norwalk-Danbury Metropolitan Statistical Area, which is part of the New York City metropolitan area, specifically the New York-Newark, NY and JCTPA combined statistical area. As of 2023, Stamford is home to 8 Fortune 500 companies and numerous divisions of large corporations. This gives it the largest financial district in the New York metropolitan region outside New York City and one of the nation's largest concentrations of corporations. Dominant sectors of Stamford's economy include financial management and real estate, tourism, information technology, healthcare, telecommunications, transportation, and retail. Its metropolitan division is home to colleges and universities including UConn, Stamford, and Norwalk Community College. Number 1. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Bridgeport is the most populous city in the U.S. state of Connecticut and the 5th most populous city in New England, with a population of 148,654. In 2020, located in eastern Fairfield County at the mouth of the Pequannock River on Long Island Sound, it is a port city 60 miles 97 kilometers from Manhattan and 40 miles 64 kilometers from the Bronx. It borders the towns of Trumbull to the north, Fairfield to the west, and Stratford to the east. Bridgeport and other towns in Fairfield County make up the Greater Bridgeport Planning Region, as well as the Bridgeport-Stamford-Norwalk-Danbury Metropolitan Statistical Area, the second largest metropolitan area in Connecticut. The Bridgeport-Stamford-Norwalk-Danbury metropolis forms part of the New York metropolitan area, inhabited by the Pulgusett Native American tribe until English settlement in the 1600s. Bridgeport was incorporated in 1821 as a town, and as a city in 1836. Showman P.T. Barnum was a resident of the city and served as the town's mayor. 1871. Barnum built 4 houses in Bridgeport and housed his circus in town during winter. The city in the early 20th century saw an economic and population boom, becoming by all measures Connecticut's chief manufacturing city by 1905. Bridgeport was the site of the world's first mutual telephone exchange. 1877. The first dental hygiene school. 1949. And the first bank telephone bill service in the U.S. 1981. Inventor Harvey Hubble II invented the electric plug outlet in Bridgeport in 1912. The Frisbee Pie Company was founded and operated in Bridgeport. The world's first Subway restaurant opened in the city's North End in 1965. After World War II, industrial restructuring and suburbanization caused the loss of many large companies and affluent residents, leaving Bridgeport struggling with issues of poverty and violent crime. Since the beginning of the 21st century, Bridgeport has begun extensive redevelopment of its downtown and other neighborhoods. Bridgeport's crime rate started going down significantly around 2010. By 2018, it had been reduced by almost 50%. Bridgeport is home to 3 museums: the University of Bridgeport, Housatonic Community College, Payer College, and part of Sacred Heart University, as well as the state's only zoo. Bridgeport is officially nicknamed Park City due to its 35 public parks taking up 1,300 acres, including 2 large ones, although none are headquartered within the city itself. More than a dozen Fortune 500 companies are based in its metropolitan area, which it shares with Stamford. Bridgeport, by various sites, has been consistently ranked as among the 25 most ethnically and culturally diverse American cities.